morning from the Disney Skyliner. We're headed over to Disney's Caribbean Beach Resort. It's been quite a few years since we've done a full detailed tour of Disney's Caribbean Beach, and a lot has changed since our last tour. If you're interested in seeing our last tour, we'll put a link to that in the description down below. Also, if you're interested in seeing a lot of other tours, all of the other Disney resorts we have done full tours of, and we're making our way back through, but we do have a playlist of all of the resorts that we've ever been to and all the resort tours that we've ever done. We'll put that in the description down below too. But today, we're headed over to Caribbean Beach. We're gonna walk around, we're gonna do a step-by-step tour, try to visit all of the different areas, see all the different pools, see all the different food options, see all the different recreation options, everything that's available at Disney's Caribbean Beach. We're skylinering over. We parked over at Hollywood Studios, got on the Skyliner. We're headed there now. So we are making our way into Caribbean Beach via the Skyliner over from Hollywood Studios. But this isn't where we're gonna start the video. We're gonna start the video as if you had just arrived at the resort for your vacation at the front lobby. All right, here it is. You've just arrived for your Walt Disney World vacation. You're staying at Caribbean Beach Resort, and you pull into Old Port Royale to check in. Before we head in there, there is one thing that I wanted to point out, is that there are bus stops located around the property, and they actually have an internal shuttle that can take you to various places around the resort. So this is a very large resort, so they do have buses that run to the different bus stops around the resort. So say if you're staying in one of the far places, like maybe Aruba, you can take a bus to come back over here to Old Port Royale. And we will show you some more of those bus stops as we travel around, but I just wanted to point that out before we got started. This is a large resort, and there are bus stops everywhere. The buses will also take you to the 4 parks in Disney Springs and the water parks. Out front we have the flags of the Caribbean waving next to our American flag, the Florida flag, and I think this last flag is for Caribbean Beach right there. They have their own flag. This is actually interesting. So the 5 different flags represent the 5 different areas of this resort. So you got Trinidad. The French flag is actually for Martinique, which is their parent country, but they just adapted a new flag on the 2nd of February, so I'm wondering when we will change out this flag. I think you got Jamaica, and then you've got Barbados, and then you've got Aruba. So you've got those 5 different flags right there. I'm really interested when they're going to change out this French flag, or if they will change out the French flag. So we are turning and heading into Old Port Royale. So we've got bell services over here where you can drop off your bags if you are arriving or if you are leaving. And then we've got a welcome center over here where they will welcome you to the resort. They can check you in here, or you can check in inside. Let's head inside. So as soon as you walk in, you are kind of greeted with this wonderful tropical flair. Feel like you're really in the islands. Then if we turn to our right, we've got a press penny machine with lots of Pirates of the Caribbean designs for them. You don't need to provide your own penny for this. You can also pay with a credit card. Right next to that, we've got the bathrooms and the ATM. And also, there is a water bottle filler back here. So, before you head out to the parks, fill up your water bottle here. There's lots of different artwork all around the resort. This one is a painting of Disney's Caribbean Beach Resort. From the bathrooms, just to the left of that entrance, you've got a mailbox. This is where you can actually mail stamped letters to anywhere in the United States. A fire extinguisher and a defibrillator. There's also a DVC, or Disney Vacation Club kiosk here, where there should be somebody waiting to give you more information about DVC, but there is not right now. Look at that, there's Alani. We love it. Oh, and they can also do pin trading here too, but I don't see any cast member here to facilitate the pin trading. So, just to the right of that is Calypso Trading Post, which is the gift shop / sundries store. This has operating hours of 7:30 to 10 p.m. They've got all kinds of stuff in here right now. We got Park Pals, we've got Disney 100 stuff. They have Skyliner stuff, which I love the Skyliner, so I'm glad that there is Skyliner specific merch. They have these things, bog bags, and then they have Caribbean Beach specific merchandise. And I love this shirt. It's so niche because you like barely notice that Mickey's on it, and it just kind of looks like you're looking at it, you're like, oh, Skyliner, that's strange. Spyglass Grill, what are these things? But it's still talking about Jamaica and Trinidad. This is a specific shirt for Disney's Caribbean Beach. Oh, and then there's that print that we saw over top of the ATM right there. With some more Caribbean beach stuff here. I love a Tervis tumbler. More Caribbean beach stuff. They have Caribbean beach specific ears. So if you're a fan or true fan of Caribbean Beach Resort, you could get yourself some ears. On their Loungefly too. And then they also have various tropical or aloha shirts. Rain Spooner. And they have Nike golf stuff. And they have Tommy Bahama stuff as well. They also sell beers and wines in here, as far as like 6-packs or even just single beers if you'd like. Lunchables, various Coke products, waters, milk, because you could be staying here for a longer period of time. You might want some milk. Candies and snacks, and here are the wines, the selection of wines. And then various other sundries, popcorns, and stuff like that. Not a huge selection of food items, aside from just snacks, but they are here. Also, any sort of medicine or anything that you might have forgotten, like take, for instance, toothpaste, Q-tips, deodorant, Advil, fingernail clippers, sewing kits, kids' toothbrushes, things like that. Or also diapers and wipes and tampons and pads. Lots of stuff. Pedialyte, just in case somebody needs to be rehydrated. Extra bottles. Of course, sunscreen, sunglasses, and bathing suits. And swimmy diapers. They also have a selection of pirate stuff here, because Pirates of the Caribbean Beach Resort. What is this? They should make a Bluetooth speaker. It says interactive coin bank. So maybe it does. Maybe it says lights and phrases. Oh, where do I push? Found it. You push the skull on the top here.
And mark well the words, ladies. Dead men tell no tale.
They also have Magic Band and Magic Band Plus available for purchase. Like we said, snacks still too. Little candy bars. They also have full liquor available here. And the refillable resort mugs. Back out front of Calypso Trading Post, if we turn to our left, we've got Centertown Market, which has grab and go and full order type meals. We'll get a closer look at the menus as we head a little bit deeper in. Let's go into the grab and go section first. There is also another entrance to Calypso Trading Post just right here. Like that was the entrance we came in. There's another one right here. So we're going to go into the grab and go section. We've got ice cream. We do have hot meals here. You can get a Cuban sandwich down here, a slice of pizza, cheese or pepperoni, various snacks, Mickey Premium bars, various pastries, cold turkey sandwiches, yogurts, fruits, hard-boiled eggs, chocolate chip cookies, yes. This looks like right now it's around Easter time, or it's after Easter, but this is the spring plant-based fling cupcake. Key lime tart, tropical paradise cheesecake. Ooh, this all sounds so delicious. Individual servings of milk, soy milk, and almond milk. Fruit juices, waters, yogurts, pouches, all kinds of different drinks around here at Coke Products. They do have also in here beers and wines and sangrias. They have the Cutwater stuff. And the wines down there. They do have a little section of Enjoy Life stuff that's free from 14 allergens. And the Yummy Earth stuff as well is gluten-free, non-GMO, non-dairy, allergy-friendly. But that's about the largest selection. That's it. Those two shelves right there. And then outside of the grab and go, they have a larger menu over here. We've got sandwiches, Cuban sandwich, a burger. Oh yeah, a rum mango barbecue pulled pork, pizza. Oh, full out entrees, like a roasted half chicken, fish tacos. Sounds delicious. And then they have a whole kids section as well. And then sweet treats. Lots of seating available in here. And then when your food is ready, you come over and you pick it up here. You turn your buzzer and you'll pick it up either at 1, 2, or 3. Whole section of condiments with mayonnaise, ketchup, and mustard. Some salad dressings. There are toasters and microwaves if you would like to heat up your own item. Maybe you get a bagel, you want to toast it. And they have a couple of Coke Freestyle machines in here, a hot cocoa machine, coffee, iced tea, And then they have another machine for getting just, rather than doing the Coke Freestyle, if you know that you just want a Coke, just come over here and do the Coke. And these are set up to use your refillable mugs. There are bathrooms back here as well, towards the back of the seating area. This kind of looks like a hidden Mickey, doesn't it? You guys think that this would be considered a hidden Mickey? One last thing I wanted to say about Centertown Market is that they have breakfast from 7 a.m. to 11 a.m. and then lunch and dinner is from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. So there is no break in time, but they do stop serving breakfast at 11 and start serving lunch and dinner items. Another thing to note about Centertown Market is that you can mobile order using the My Disney Experience app. So back at the entrance of Calypso Trading Post and the Centertown Market, having a look around the lobby now, love these fans. These are awesome. There are lots of seating areas for people that are waiting for their rooms to be ready. But also, this is where you would check in if you do not check in the app, down here at this front desk. And there is a kids area here where you can sit and you can watch. They can watch television here. They're doing the Frozen. This is very similar to the cruise where they have different times where they do bedtime stories on the TV. They have these desks here where if you need to charge up your devices, you can, or if you need to maybe use a plug to use your laptop or something like that, you could. This is also where you would get your pins for your stay. Like take, for instance, if you need to get a happy birthday, first visit, or I'm celebrating. This is also concierges over here. And there is a little photo frame. So if you'd like to take a selfie with Sebastian here in the Wish You Were Here photo frame, you could. So from the check-in desk, we are back at the back door of Old Port Royale. They've got a couple of signs out here. They have a purple martin nest check. So the purple martins are birds that hang out around Disney, eat all the mosquitoes, so we love them. And they have, Disney has put up various nests throughout. There's a lot of them at Epcot, and we have a video about them actually. We'll put a link to that in the description down below. But you can learn more about the purple martins in the Old Port Royale lobby on Tuesdays and Thursdays at 11 a.m. Now let's head out the back door and have a look at these signs. See if we can see where to go. We can go left to go to Sebastian's Bistro, the Banana Cabana, and the pool. And then they also have a map of the area. So right now we're in Old Port Royale. There's the Barbados section, the Trinidad section, which also has Spyglass Grill, the Jamaica section, the Aruba section, and the Martinique section. All of them, of course, have bus stops throughout. There's a Skyliner station, a Joffrey's Coffee over here. There's another Skyliner station over here near Disney's Riviera. So even though Riviera is on this map, it is not part of the Caribbean Beach Resort. It is its own resort. This Skyliner goes to Epcot this way, and then this way will take you over to this Skyliner station, which will take you to Hollywood Studios or to Pop Century and Art of Animation this way. And then we have another sign over here that gives you the April recreation experiences. So this might be different by the time that you come here, because right now it is April for me. So we've got poolside activities from 1 to 3:30, shell painting, a campfire, drum making, which is an extra cost, tie-dye shirt making, which is an extra cost, a pineapple social. That sounds exciting. And then, of course, there are 2 Purple Martin experiences. They said that there's the nest check and then there's a scavenger hunt. And these are the movies that we're watching. So on Sundays, we're watching Tinkerbell, Mondays, Atlantis, Tuesday, Encanto, Wednesdays, Beauty and the Beast, Thursday is Sky High, Friday, Strange World, and Saturday is Wall-E. And in April, these movies are beginning at 8:30, located on the Caribbean Key Island, which is right here, just on the other side of Sebastian's Bistro there. So I know that I said that this sign pointed us this way and that everything's this way, but I'm gonna make a right first and head over towards Riviera. We're not going to Riviera, but there is one section of the resort that is just before we get to Riviera. Just to the right of Sebastian's Bistro, Old Port Royale is right here, Sebastian's Bistro. They have the marina. We used to have Sprite boats here, and they are no longer. Most of the resorts have gotten rid of the Sprite boats. I would like for them to come back, but they're not there right now. They do guided fishing excursions from here. It is an extra charge, and you do have to sign up ahead of time. And then they also have, there's Connect 4 out there, there's cornhole, and there's chess out there, like large chess. And there's a couple of seats out there that you can sit at. And this lighthouse is where you would check in for your guided fishing tours. Oh, and it is called the Barefoot Bay Marina. I love the Skyliner. Hopefully we can get through this tour before the rain. It's starting to get a little bit cloudy out here, but that'll keep the sun away, so that'll be nice. Movie Under the Stars is telling us about that. And then we've got the prices for the catch and release guided fishing excursions. $235 for a 2-hour trip, $450 for a 4-hour trip, 5 guests maximum, and then they give you the phone number to call to make reservations. Advanced reservations are highly recommended. As you can see, there's nobody out there to like talk to to go on the fishing excursion, so that's why they suggest advanced reservations. And we've got the purple martins flying around. They're getting real angry at this pigeon up here. Here are the purple martins right here, and there are their purple martin houses. There's a lot of them flying around. And then they have some information about the purple martins here. As we continue towards Riviera, you can see there is a beach volleyball court out here, some hammocks, a nice sandy beach where you can hang out in the sand, get some rays. There's a fire pit over here where they'll probably do s'mores at night. And this is over by the Martinique section. That is the blue buildings that we're starting to see behind us here, or behind the shot. Now, this is one of the great things about Caribbean Beach is I just saw somebody walking back from Riviera with to-go food. So if you did not like anything that you saw at the Centertown Market, grab and go or otherwise, or over at Spyglass Grill when we get over there, you do have the option to go over to Riviera. You can walk over there. If you're staying in another one of the areas, you can take the Skyliner over, or you can take the Skyliner over to Pop Century and Art of Animation, or you can take the Skyliner over to the Epcot area, and that will put you near Beach Club, Boardwalk, Yacht Club, all kinds of different restaurants. So a lot of options here at Caribbean Beach. Originally, before Skyliner was built and before Riviera was built, I didn't find this resort too desirable. But now that there's Skyliner and Riviera, this is a very desirable resort because there's a lot of food options, a lot more than you would get just at any of these other locations. So there's a lot more options than someplace like Coronado Springs. I feel like you get a lot more food options and a lot more variety here at Caribbean Beach. So we are walking through the Martinique section, and all of these are styled very nicely. I like it. In the original video, I just watched it back and I said it reminded me of Small World. And it kind of does. Very, very colorful. I love the metal roofs. A lot of people have this idea of metal roofs in the rain and it'll be amazing sounding, but for the most part, there's a lot of insulation between you and the metal roof, so you're not gonna get too much of a sound during the rain. The idea of rain on a metal roof is when there's nothing underneath the metal roof. It's just being used as a shade covering. The thing that is probably sticking out to some of you guys is that when we were over near Centertown, there were a lot of people. As we start to get towards the outer buildings, like the Martinique and stuff like that, not as many people. You can see there is some signage here that point towards the ice machines and the telephones. We're gonna kind of do a little bit of a walkthrough over here because there is a pool over here that is a lot quieter than the main pool. There's basically nobody in that pool back there. Maybe like 4 or 5 people. When we go over to the main pool, you'll see it's packed. There's a lot of people in there. It's a more active pool, a lot more going on. There's a slide and a lot more fun stuff. There's a little splash pad for kids. This is just a pool, like a relaxing pool. I will mention that there is a lift for anybody that needs it to get into the pool. Maybe somebody needs a little bit extra assistance to get into the pool. There are life vests available, but there is no lifeguard on duty. So that's another plus to the main pool, that there is lifeguards on duty at the main pool. There's not at these various smaller pools located in the different sections of the resort. There are some lovely seating areas located throughout the resort. This one does happen to be a smoking section outside of Martinique. The pool from Martinique was right there. And we're gonna actually continue our way around the resort, and we're gonna cut through Riviera. Riviera will not be part of this tour, so we're gonna kind of stop the tour there and pick it up on the other side of Riviera just to make it more of a circle tour than kind of going back and forth. Like, I think that's a little bit less confusing that way. And that way we will end at the main pool for the resort. So basically what we're gonna do is we entered here in Old Port Royal and we're gonna make our way. We went past Martinique, we're gonna cut through Riviera, stop by the Skyliner section so you guys can see it, and then head through Aruba and Jamaica, see this Skyliner station, then head back down to Trinidad and Spyglass Grill, then Barbados, then Old Port Royal again, Fort Sebastian Beach Road, the main pool, and Caribbean Cay. Looking back at Martinique, if you can kind of see through the trees there, there is a green roof on top of an orange building. That is the bus stop for Martinique, right there. And then over here is a beach area, some sandy beach with some lounge chairs. I don't know which resort this is part of. I don't know if this is part of Caribbean Beach or if it's part of Riviera, but it's here, so I wanted to show it to you. Oh, I'm guessing Riviera because, as you can see, our Riviera trash cans are over here. So I think this is the break point right here. Once we get to the end of this red walkway, then we're at Riviera now. So now we have made it to the other side of the Riviera Resort, and just for reference or for wayfinding, is Martinique there. This is Old Port Royal and where Centertown Market and everything was. And we are now over at Aruba, just passing underneath the Skyliner. And this is the Skyliner station that will take you to Epcot going that way, right there. And this one will take you to the other Caribbean Beach Skyliner station, where you will have to step outside of the Skyliner gondola and move to another line to get to either Disney's Hollywood Studios or to Art of Animation Pop Century. So let's explore the Aruba section a little bit. I love that each section has its own unique styling. So this Aruba section looks different than the Martinique section, but still carries a similar structure shape. Right outside, we've got another beach area here with some hammocks and some lounge chairs. I would imagine that these palm trees could give you some shade during the day. Right now it's cloudy, so I can't tell you where the sun is shining down or not. But if you're looking to get a suntan, this is definitely a place to come. We have another smoking section over here that is also a fantastic view out onto the water, looking over top of the lake. From over here, I can hear the recreation team starting to do some activities around the main pool back there at Old Port Royal. We're gonna head back into the Aruba section a little bit. One thing I did want to mention about all of these rooms is that they do have these air conditioning units that are underneath the windows rather than up in the ceiling. So it's kind of like your typical hotel air conditioning unit, just kind of sticking out of the wall underneath the front window. It is controlled by a thermostat and it is motion censored, but it's just kind of underneath the window there. And it should also be mentioned that they have not only the numbers written, they have them raised here if you don't know Braille, and then they have them in Braille underneath. Once again, we are seeing that the pool is being used by people sunbathing, but there is actually nobody in the pool proper. They're just kind of hanging out on the pool deck, relaxing. I hear no splashing, but there's a ton of activity over at the main pool. So if you're looking for a quiet, relaxing pool, pick one of the pools in the different sections of Caribbean Beach. Once again, it should also be noted that there is no lifeguard on duty at this pool. They do have life vests available for you if that's something that you need, but no lifeguards on duty. And also the other appeal of the main pool is it's for the adults, it's close to the bar, close to food options, close to drinks, things like that for purchase. Whereas out here, there's no bar. There are bathrooms and changing rooms next to the pool, as well as water fountains. And then I believe that this is the guest laundry. So each pool in each section has a guest laundry located in it. Also, the Aruba section is pretty large, so not everybody is real close to the pool. So pool is right here, and the buildings go all the way back to there. So it could be a little bit of a trek. Kind of everything here at this resort is a little bit of a walk, unless you're staying right next to the Skyliner station or the bus stop or something like that. Then you can get places fairly quick. But as those of you that have stayed here at Walt Disney World Resort before, you know that we do a lot of walking around this resort. There's a lot of walking when you come to Walt Disney World. So just be prepared for that. Oh, another thing to note about this resort is that there are open walkways. So in the summer, it rains very often here in Central Florida. So be prepared to have to run from the bus or the Skyliner or your car to your room through a place like this where there is no cover over top of us. And say you're parking back there and it's pouring down rain, like it might do very soon for me here with these rain clouds, you might have to make it from the car to your room through the rain. And we're talking torrential downpours here in the summer. So as we're starting to leave Aruba and heading towards the Jamaica section, I did want to say that one of the great things that Disney did with this resort is have this bridge here. So this right here is called Caribbean Key or Caribbean Cay, and that is the connection point between Old Port Royal, Sebastian's Bistro, and the main pool and these other sections of the resort over here. That helps cut down on the walking. There is also a playground out there, and this is where they do the movie on the lawn at night, or movie under the stars at night. We will be coming back to this when we get to the main pool back there as we make our way all the way around the resort. Right now, we're headed to Jamaica. I did kind of want to give you guys an idea of how big some of the sections are. So like I said, we're still in the Aruba section, and this is the last building in the Aruba section. And the first building was almost all the way back there to Riviera. And you can see how far away from Riviera we are right now. These sections are fairly large, especially this one on this side over here. So yeah, let's continue on to the Jamaica section. And like I said before, the structures are very similar looking, but the details are entirely different. So as we get to the Caribbean Key Bridge, there's another map over here, and there is another recreation activity sign that tells you the same stuff that we saw when we were over at Old Port Royal, but they put it here because there's a direct connection to Old Port Royal right here with this bridge and across the island. And man, I am very glad that they planted these bushes here, because I can not even tell that there's a gigantic Skyliner post here. Like I would never know if these trees weren't here. Jamaica section, I like this. Very gingerbread-like. I really like the look of this section. As with all of the other sections, here in the Jamaica section, there is another pool here, laundry and bathrooms and things like that, and a little beach area with some hammocks on it and some lounge chairs. We'll have a look. We'll go up to the second story on these buildings over here and have a look into the pool in this section, see if there's anybody using it. Once again, another sparsely used pool, laundry, bathrooms, changing rooms, things like that. So as with any other pool in these different sections, come to these if you would like to have a nice quiet space. One thing that I'm starting to notice as I'm walking around is that I don't think there are elevators up to the second floor in these buildings. So if you can't use the stairs, be sure to request a bottom floor room. In the center of some of the areas, they do have some covered chairs and covered tables if you'd like to have a little outdoor picnic type lunch or dinner. Yeah, I kind of walked around this entire building here and I didn't find any elevators or any signs that say elevators this way. So I did find the ice machine though. So there's the ice machine and here's the phone. It's very nice in here. It's very cool inside this room. And this is filtered water for the ice machine. Now that the sun's out a little bit, there is some shade on some of the beach areas here provided by palm trees, but I think that the majority of it would be for people that just want to kind of go out here in the sun, especially the hammocks. But these hammocks might be very nice at night. There's a cool breeze blowing today because the storm's rolling in. It's still very hot out right now. It's 85 degrees outside. Another shot for distance reference here. So we are reaching the end of the Jamaica section. This isn't the furthest away from Riviera we will be at this resort, but it's pretty far. But it still is. It's a beautiful resort. Nice and quiet. The water, the lily pads. I'm sure there are fish in there. One time we saw a gigantic fish on the other side of this bridge. We'll go over and see if we can see him again. So although this area of the resort in the Trinidad section is very far away from most food options, you are very close to the Skyliner station. And this particular Skyliner station will take you to Hollywood Studios, Pop Century, Art of Animation that way, and then back this way it'll take you over to Riviera and Epcot. But this is if you're going to Hollywood Studios, you have to pass through this station right here. So even if you're coming from Epcot, you have to come off of your line here, get on a different line to get over to Hollywood Studios, or a different line to get over to Art of Animation and Pop Century. Or if you're coming from Art of Animation and Pop Century, you get out of the Skyliner here and you transfer over to a new Skyliner line that will take you over to Disney's Hollywood Studios. And I did want to mention that Disney, I would like to file a complaint because this is kind of a confusing sign. It's kind of in a confusing location because the sidewalk turns here. This arrow is pointing this way. The Skyliner station is over there. This particular sign should be right here because that makes sense. Go straight to get to the Skyliner, turn left to get to Barbados and Trinidad. So we're headed over to Trinidad right now. Oh, also the other great thing about this Skyliner station is this little hut right here with the metal roof and the yellow walls is a Joffrey's Coffee location. So if you're headed into the park in the morning, stop off and grab yourself a Joffrey's Coffee and take it on the Skyliner. You can take food and drink on the Skyliner, no problem. All right, now we're headed over to Trinidad. So we're gonna go this way and then we're gonna cross the street and head over here. From this bridge here, just to give you guys some wayfindings where we're at, there's the Skyliner station, there's Jamaica. This is looking back at Old Port Royal, or the main lobby. And we are coming over here. We're crossing over top of the main waterway. And we're gonna cross the street and head over to Trinidad over there, which is also where Spyglass Grill is, which is one of my favorite restaurants on this particular property. So coming from Jamaica to get to Trinidad, it is easiest to just cross the street right here. But if you're coming from Barbados, there is a tunnel that goes, or a walkway that goes underneath the bridge. And that's a little bit easier, but kind of backwards if you're coming from Jamaica over there. That's the way that we will head back, is underneath the bridge here. Like I've said, all of these different sections have pools and laundry and ice and things like that, but they also have bus stops. And every single bus stop is located on the parking lot side of the buildings. So if you're staying in any section and you're looking for a bus stop, just go to the parking lot side of the buildings and you will find the bus stop. I do like this section of the resort because aside from the Skyliner noises, it's very quiet over here. Very relaxing. And you get some great water views too. But I do think that this is my least favorite style of building back here. They're just not very exciting. And you can see, and we still have the sandy beach down in this section of the resort. We also have some concrete turtles down there that look like they're made of sand. I don't think any of the other sandy sections had anything like that. And looking at the sandy beach over here in Trinidad, this is also where the Spyglass Grill is. Let's have a look at the menu. There's also bathrooms here at the Spyglass Grill. And a few picnic style seats underneath this giant oak tree. The theming is kind of sailing and messages in bottles and ships in bottles. Almost as if we were on a ship in here. There's also some water fountains. No water bottle filler. And the hours are 7 a.m. to 11:30 for breakfast, and then lunch and dinner are served from 11:30 to 1. Let's have a look at the menu over here. This is the drink menu currently. It says grab and go options available from 11:30 to 5. I don't know what that means. Like they don't have a full menu here for lunch? So it seems like currently, and I don't know if this is going to change, it has been different in the past, but right now until 5 o'clock, they're just doing grab and go options. So they've got like a turkey sandwich, a ham sandwich, things like that, salads, alcohol. They don't have any hot food items until 5 o'clock. I'm assuming that's a staffing issue maybe? I don't know. But that is not what I was expecting to find when I came here to Spyglass Grill. I was expecting to find the full menu. What I'll do is I'll find a link to the full menu and we'll put that in the description down below so you guys can see what is available here normally during lunch and dinner, and right now just during dinner. The pool over here behind Spyglass Grill, so Spyglass Grill was right there. There are bathrooms, changing areas, and laundry area here as well. And then just behind the laundry area is more seating for Spyglass Grill. And then when we get past the extra seating for Spyglass Grill, this is where the bus stop is for this section. So each bus stop does have a Coca-Cola machine that takes credit cards. There's a sign that gives you a little bit more information about the islands that are represented here at the resort. And this was something that was interesting that I did not realize at the beginning of this video, is that there is bus transportation provided to Magic Kingdom, Animal Kingdom, Disney Springs, which also has a transfer to Typhoon Lagoon. But then there's an internal shuttle, and if you want to get to Epcot or Hollywood Studios, you have to take the Skyliner. There is not a bus that goes to Epcot or Hollywood Studios. That is an interesting bit of information that I was not aware of before. Each bus stop has the current temperature, what the temperature will be tonight, the time, and then the next bus is estimated to arrive at these different times. In about 7 minutes, we should have a bus showing up to go to Magic Kingdom. So now we are starting to head back towards Centertown and towards Old Port Royale. So when we came over here, we had to cross the street up there. And we came down this little ramp over here. Now we're headed back underneath the bridge. All right, so we came from Trinidad. That was the furthest away from anything that you could be at Disney's Caribbean Beach. We went underneath the street, and now we're here at Barbados. And right, the first thing that we come to is the pool at Barbados and the laundry. And one thing I forgot to mention is that there are towels provided at each of these pools. So you don't need to worry about bringing towels from your room or anything like that. And then of course, laundry and bathrooms and everything is there too. And a beach area. This one is a bit smaller than all the rest. Only one hammock and a few, like a smattering of lounge chairs. Another thing that should be noted is that these lounge chairs do not move up and down. They are solid So you cannot adjust them. You can just lay down on them. You can't make it so you can sit up and read a book or something like that. Also, it should be noted that not all of these seating areas are smoking areas. For instance, this one is not. This is just a seating area. The thing that you're looking for is there will be a flower pot with some black stones in it. That is the smoking areas. And now we're having a look at the theming of the Barbados area. Once again, not as unique as some of the other sections. Kind of plain. I do like this siding up top. It's cool looking, and the tower is cool looking too. I don't know if you guys will be able to make it out, but there is a turtle out there, kind of just barely sticking his head out of the water. See if I can, it's hard to find on my viewfinder, but he's there. So this is what you're looking for a smoking section, is a pot like this. Also wanted to point out that there are lots of green areas around this resort to run around in. If your kids need to get out and get some energy out, send them out into the little green areas. Maybe bring a little football, throw a football back and forth, maybe a baseball or something like that. Nice way to pass the time. There is another beach area up there closer to the pool. Another one of these lovely little seating areas out here with some shaded umbrellas right in the center there. That would be so great to sit out there on a cool day or a cool evening and eat some of your food that you got from maybe Centertown Market or something like that, or maybe even food that you brought with you. So we have made it a full lap around the resort, and we did have a little bit of a jaunt into Trinidad, and now we're making our way back to Old Port Royal right here. I'm hoping to find a sign. Like around some of these resorts they have running trails, and I would imagine that this would be the running trail around this resort, and so I'm looking to see if I can find how far we walked. The last time I did a video I said that helicopters were passing over this resort constantly, but today, I've only heard 2 or 3 of them. So it seems like maybe they slowed down, or maybe not a lot of people are taking helicopters. There is another beach area over here with some more hammocks and some more lounge chairs. All right, now we are headed into the pool. So as we start to make our way around the pool deck, I want to point out there are lots of chairs, and there is a spa back here, like a hot tub back here. And we're going to just kind of like wander around the pool with the camera facing me, because there are a lot of people in this pool. And I'll kind of point to some blurry stuff behind me, but know that this is the main pool. I'm trying to figure out what the name of this pool is. Oh, so this is the Old Port Royal pool. Also towels provided. There are bathrooms. There's a slide inside of this building back here. There's another little slide over here. There's a splash pad back here with a slide in it as well. A lot of stuff happening around here, and a lot of fun pool activities. Cannons squirting water out the side of the building. There are life vests provided here as well. There are showers over by the pool, and we're really close to, there's a bar, there's a restaurant, there's quick service. A lot of options here at the Old Port Royal pool. Did also want to mention that towels and life vests are provided here at this pool, and there are lifeguards at this pool as well. So right now we just left the Old Port Royal pool right there. Old Port Royal is right here behind us. There is a ping pong table, and we are headed kind of in this direction, and I can turn the camera around now so you guys can see where we're going to. So there's kind of a sign here. You can see the pineapple says, "We are here at the Old Port Royal pool in Centertown Market," and Old Port Royal are to our left, and to our right we're headed to Banana Cabana, which is the pool bar, and then also Sebastian's Bistro back here. The pool hours are from 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. So you can have a nice late dip in the pool. There is also a Coke machine here that you can use to fill up your refillable resort mugs. I don't know if water, can you just get water without, yeah, you can just fill up your water bottle here without having to use the refillable thing. Like if I try to push this vitamin water, nothing will happen because I don't have my mug. Oh, it's yelling at me. It's telling me to put the cup on the tray. I don't have my refillable cup with the RFID in it, but I can do the water and I can do the ice. Oh, and located next to this Coke machine is a mug wash. So if you got Coke the last time, you can rinse out your mug and then dump it out, and then maybe get Fanta this time. I wouldn't drink this water, it's just tap water. It's not gonna hurt you, but it's specifically for rinsing out your cup. Here's a quick look at the Banana Cabana out here. Steel drums up on the ceiling. That is the chandelier. It's very nice. It's a nice breezy day right now, so this is a fantastic place to have a quick bite to eat and a drink. And the hours here are 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. and I have a menu so we can have a look at the menu. Having a quick look at the menu, we've got some featured cocktails. We've got some non-alcoholic items. We've got some wine and sangria. And we've got beers available and some frozen favorites and a Caribbean rum flight. I thought that there was food available here too, but I'm not seeing food on this menu. I'll have a look and see if there's a different menu. Oh, here we go. And then here is a look at the food menu. We got some appetizers, we got some island favorites, some desserts, or just one dessert, and then the kids menu. Here's something that I didn't realize. They have a Banana Cabana shirt available for purchase at Calypso Trading Post. And then also, do you see this like symbol above the name? If we look out there, it's kind of a cutout at the top of the gable there. And back behind the Banana Cabana, we've got Sebastian's Bistro. And we've eaten here a few times, and we will put a link in the description down below so you guys can see what it looks like to eat here at Sebastian's. We cannot eat here right now because it opens at 4:30 and it's open from 4:30 to 9:30 daily. But I did want to give you guys a look at the menu. This is served family style. So for guests 10 and over, it is $35. For guests 9 and under, it is $19. And this is everything that you get. You get starters, Taste of the Caribbean. You get chicken, pork, beef, and then fish. And then for dessert, they have coconut pineapple pudding. And then for an extra charge, you can get crab and fish cake, fried coconut shrimp, seafood escabeche. And for an extra price, which I don't see the prices of these down here, you can get non-alcoholic beverages, cocktails, Caribbean rums, wine, beer, cider, and hard seltzer. And so now, the last thing that we have to look at here at Caribbean Beach Resort is the Caribbean Key, or the Caribbean K. It can go either way. It's spelled C-A-Y. You can pronounce it either way. And the best example of pronouncing it either way are the cruise options. So at Disney's private island, it's called Castaway Cay. Pronounced Key, spelled C-A-Y. For Royal Caribbean, they have Coco Cay, pronounced C-A-Y, or spelled C-A-Y. So it's Key and K. It's totally fine for you to say it either way. You can even say Castaway Cay. You can say Castaway Key, you can say Castaway Cay. Either way, totally fine. From Old Port Royal right there, the Old Port Royal pool, Banana Cabana and Sebastian's Bistro, we are turning to the right and crossing over top of this wooden boardwalk to Caribbean Key. So I kind of really like Caribbean Key because this area is for your enjoyment from sunrise to sunset. Got another little private beach area over here with some hammocks. And like nobody's over here for this. There's some fun cannons down here. They don't do anything, it's kind of like a photo op. You can come down here and take a photo with the cannons. But this is nice. Like some of the other beach areas were taken up by people, but this one is not. Also, there are different styles of chairs here. We've got some Adirondacks and the adjustable chairs, whereas the ones with the other beach areas around the resort do not have the adjustable chair. 2 open hammocks, a little bit of shade here, so probably not as hot. I'm gonna walk across the sand, try not to get sand in my shoes. Just past that little beach area here, it's kind of like a hut, I don't know, like a spot for sitting, I guess. I think they keep the supplies in here for movie on the lawn, which is what would happen right in this area here. You can see they've got chairs. Probably the kids could sit up front on the grass, and they would set up an inflatable screen over here where you could watch the movie under the stars. There's also towels available here, probably for you to sit on this grass. Some lovely little like seating areas up here. You can see these folks are taking advantage of some shade. Caribbean Key playground over here. This will be a fun spot to bring the kids because nobody out here. Lots of climbing structures, a spider web type structure, slides, bouncy bridges, drums, smaller slide. This is actually really, oh, I thought it connected. I was like, wow, this would be awesome to kind of like scale this all the way over to the climbing structure over here. Looks like there used to be a tire swing here, but they may have taken it down for unknown reasons, probably because of the hurricanes. Super tall bamboo blowing in the breeze, creating a fun noise as we're walking through. Here's this playground, and then the bridge that we came across from, or the bridge that we came across on is right that way. We're just kind of continuing our way across the island. Some more seating areas out here on the island. There's another covered area, a couple of tables back here. You can bring your drinks over here, have a little hangout. Actually, kind of a lot of little spots to sit. Let's see if we can find one that's not being used right now. I like this, banana trees, all kinds of fun foliage. And then just a couple of seats out here that are undercover, table, grab a couple of drinks, come on over, sit down, relax, and enjoy the view. Or if your group is larger than just 2, there's a real big one here at the furthest point with kind of a lot of seats in it. And a pretty great view outside of it as well. As we continue our way across the island, we make our way over towards the Aruba section. Aruba and Jamaica. There you have it. We made it back over to the hidden Skyliner post. Right there. And that was the entire resort. So let's head back over to Old Port Royale. All right, so there you have it. That was our trip out to Disney's Caribbean Beach Resort to get a full tour of the entire resort. We went to every section of this resort. We showed off all kinds of different stuff. It's a big resort. But like I said throughout this video, there are a lot of things that I really like about it. Number one being the Skyliner and how close you are to other resorts and other food options, and also Hollywood Studios and Epcot. It is very convenient to be at a Skyliner resort, and this is a big one. So, I don't know, I would recommend staying here. And like I said, the helicopters have seemed to have stopped. They're not running as much today as they were the last time that I was here. The remodel is complete. There are food options. The pools are good. There are plenty of pools, beach areas, relaxing areas, quiet areas, exciting areas. It's a well-rounded resort. So all in all, it was a fantastic day. And with that being said, we are off. We'll see y'all tomorrow. And now it's time to pay the price.